Hello, and welcome to the I've Seen Everything Reaction Wrap-Up podcast. Here is where I share my thoughts, reactions, and review for my latest reaction videos. To find these full reaction videos, please search for @SeenEverything over on YouTube, or check the description of this podcast for more information. Also, please remember to rate and comment on this episode, and follow the podcast so you can see when I'm putting out new wrap-ups. And now, on to my latest wrap-up for The Fifth Element. Well, The Fifth Element is a comfort movie. It just is. I love this movie. I've loved this movie for years. It's something I can put on in the background and enjoy while I do other things. It's something I can sit there and watch all the way through and still enjoy it, even though I've seen it so many times. The thing I was going to suggest, or the thing I wondered about, is I wondered about a potential alternate ending based on the kind of setup of how that was all laid out in that final sequence. And I have to imagine somebody has suggested this before. I didn't think about it until just now, but I can't imagine that I'm the first one who thought of this. It had to have been in another draft of the script, probably. What if Lilu died right there? Man, would that have been a dramatic thing. I mean, not that I want it, trust me, but would have been so much more dramatic to the whole thing about him telling her that he loved her. What if the last moment of her life was him telling her that he loved her? And then she does the thing that she came here to do, to save the universe or save the world. And then she's gone. It kills her. She's just dead after that. You know what I would have liked better? I want a version of that, but I don't want her to actually stay dead. Because we've already seen this thing could put her back together. So I want that to happen for Corbin and everyone to think that she's dead. But they get her back into the reactor and they're able to bring her back. But you have that moment of, we don't know. We don't know if she's going to be okay. But then she's okay. But that's just providing a little extra drama on the end. That ending lets you kind of have the drama of the moment, but also lets you have the happy ending too. But I'm sure they didn't want to end on something that dark. But I'm positive I can't be the first one to have thought of that. And I am almost positive there has to be another draft of the script somewhere that has that in there. Anyway, I don't know what else to say about the movie. There are some movies that just become such a part of your movie watching experience if you're someone who watches movies and even rewatches movies. The nostalgia is strong. And it's something you just enjoy watching over and over again. Does every part of this movie work completely? No, of course not. Even toward the end, the whole I love you thing and the heroes are fine in the end, everything works out. The movie really works on the idea that you put your characters at risk, but it's dependent on the kind of writing and the tone of the movie. Are you actually going to have some of your heroes, or maybe even some of your second or third tier people on the hero side? Are you going to have them die? Is that okay? Does everyone need to make it out? Is almost everyone going to die? Or is even everyone going to die? Is your main hero going to die by the end, but they do the thing before it happens? That's kind of all set by tone and how you're building the story. And they gave our characters a mission. It was a serious mission, although lacking in details, but sometimes the lack of details can be better because what the audience will fill in will be much worse. Again, not showing too much as far as what this antagonist, Mr. Shadow, this, dark planet or fiery planet was, just describing it as ultimate evil and leaving a lot up to interpretation of the audience, I feel like was probably way better than anything they were going to show you with CG in 97. But also, at a certain point in some of these stories, you just want to have a good time, you want to go on an adventure, and you want your heroes to be okay in the end. Every so often, you want a happy ending. You basically want your audience to feel entertained, and if you're trying to tell a serious story, you don't want to feel like you're insulting their intelligence at any point. But with this, from the very beginning, we set a tone of over everything making sense is we're going to go on a fun adventure. That's what this is. You like the characters, you like the overall vibe of the story we're telling. You have a lot of good comedic moments in here, especially when Chris Tucker enters the chat, so to speak. But even before that, Bruce Willis, Ian Holm, so many people, the way they cut and the way that they're pairing things up. Milla Jovovich providing a lot of comedy, especially with her fish out of water role for most of this, before she can even really speak and communicate with people, providing a lot of comedy as we're going into the kind of more serious parts or the action parts. And the serious parts never get too serious. I mean, it's hard to say that when you think about the kind of villains you're facing, but they always manage, no matter how serious the threat they're facing is, to keep it relatively light, to not have it be so oppressively serious that it just weighs you down. Even at the end, the climax of this whole thing, this fiery planet thing is about to destroy the Earth, and they are moments away from it happening, and the pressure is on, and they're trying to figure out how to use this weapon and open the stones, and they are worried they're not going to get there. Even then, Chris Tucker's character has to be able to provide some levity, some comedy. Just by nature of who he is, he just kind of can't turn it off. I mean, he gets the closest he gets the entire movie to turning it off here because he's legitimately worried and he can't get his stone open. But it's just, if you're looking for an action sci-fi movie that's just fun, this is a direct example of exactly that description. And it's fun every time I watch it. It's got a great style to it that I love, that a lot of people love. I think I've said everything I could possibly say about this movie. And I've kept you long enough, so let's just get out of here. I'm really glad I got to watch this here with you today. I really appreciate you being here to watch it with me, and I will see you on the next video. Take care. Thanks so much for listening to the I've Seen Everything reaction wrap-up. Again, to find these full reaction videos, please search for @SeenEverything over on YouTube or check the description of this podcast for more information. Also, please remember to rate and comment on this episode and follow the podcast so you can see when I'm putting out new wrap-ups. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll meet you here for the next episode.